Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me, Ansmana Isonyase. But first, here are the news headlines. Following his re-election, Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, the president of Mauritania, was sworn in for another term on Thursday, attended by several world leaders, including President Barrow and the First Lady. The Director of Scientific Affairs at the Food Safety and Quality Authority, Baidudu Jallo, implored the public to protect their health and well-being by avoiding selling or buying food at contaminated places. The latest Visa Guide Passport Index reveals the global standing of Gambian passports, highlighting the challenges and limited visa-free access for its holders. And aspiring journalists at the Old Yundum Upper and Senior Secondary School Press Club organized a school press club day at the school grounds to discuss their achievements, challenges and potential career paths in the media. And in sports news, African champion Gambia's Gina Bass Bite is through to the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters after winning her heat at the ongoing 2024 Paris Olympics. Well, stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. And now we take a look at the news in detail. Now, following his re-election, Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, the president of Mauritania, was sworn in for another term during a solemn ceremony in the capital Nouakchott on Thursday, attended by several world leaders, including President Barrow and the First Lady. Alicia reports.
The Mauritanian Electoral Commission declared Ghazouani winner with over 56% of the vote, beating 6 opposition candidates. In second position was Biram Da Abed, an anti-slavery activist with 22%, while Hamadi Sidi El Mokhtar of the Islamist Tawasul Party came third with 13%. Abed didn't recognize the results, calling it an electoral coup. The swearing-in ceremony, presided over by the Constitutional Council, was attended by numerous African leaders, including President Barrow of the Gambia, who is accompanied by First Lady Fatima Barrow and senior government officials. The 67-year-old former army chief, President Ghazouani, is credited with establishing stability since his election in 2019 after decades of political unrest and frequent coups. Ghazouani has been an ally to the Western powers, but also with junta-led neighbors including Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, who were all present at the swearing-in ceremony. Prior to the recent decision by these three countries to withdraw from ECOWAS, Mauritania had been the only West African country to have withdrawn from the regional bloc. According to the Global Slavery Index 2023, thousands of black Mauritanians are enslaved, with about 3% of the country's population living as slaves. Ghazouani pledged to boost investment as it prepares to start producing natural gas by the end of this year. In 2019, he was sworn in for his first term as president, succeeding Mohamed Ould Abdel Aziz, who served for 11 years. That marked the first peaceful transfer of power since 1960, when the country gained independence. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Now, the Director of Scientific Affairs at the Food Safety and Quality Authority, Baidudu Jallo, on Thursday implored the public to protect their health and well-being by avoiding selling or buying food at contaminated places. He was speaking in an exclusive interview with QTV. More in this report. With rising temperatures and food preservation sometimes posing a serious challenge to vendors during the rainy season, the FSQ's Director of Scientific Affairs says the authority has intensified its food quality monitoring. And while he shares mechanisms in place to enhance FSQ's monitoring, he says rising temperatures and selling of food around unhealthy stagnant water contribute to food contamination.
The rainy season is a difficult period, of course, for food safety also, because it's a period when we have high temperatures, and also it's a period when you have a lot of humidity, and also there is a lot of water around. And these three conditions are critical for food safety, because temperature also, of course, is a very good condition, especially high temperatures and high humidity and water. These are all conditions for microbial growth.
To ensure public safety, Mr. Jallo says the authority has intensified its food inspection, especially at the various entry points. And while he admits that the lack of a laboratory poses a challenge to their efforts, he stresses their resolve to ensure food quality and safety at all times. He also reveals that government is constructing a testing lab for the authority.
All the border entry points, whether it's the seaport, the airport, the land border entry points, the authority have inspectors. And recently, through the commitment of the top management, we have increased even the number of inspectors in all these places. Okay, and we have ensured that these inspectors have the necessary tools in terms of their inspection and so on and so forth. So all the border entry points are covered by inspectors, and these inspectors inspect and certify any consignment that is coming into the country.
Baidu Diallo further urges the public to ensure the food they buy is sold at clean and hygienic places and to avoid consuming expired food.
Consumers, we've been working on sensitization of consumers. Consumers need to take some responsibility when it comes to food safety. I mean, consumers should not buy food in places that are already contaminated, in an environment that is contaminated with either waste or with stagnant water that is smelling. And so the food placed in these areas and being sold, consumers should not buy them at all, because there is risk that that food will be contaminated or is contaminated.
Consuming contaminated food could lead to food poisoning, posing a serious threat to one's health. Hence, the need for attentiveness when dealing with food. As the FSQA intensifies its advocacy and enforcement, the public are urged to handle food with care for their health and well-being. Answana Sonyasi for KTV News. Now, the latest Visa Guide Passport Index reveals the global standing of Gambian passports, highlighting the challenges and limited visa-free access for its holders. As neighboring countries ease travel restrictions, Gambians face a complex landscape of visa requirements and international travel logistics. Lena Eugenyiba tells us more.
As of August 2024, the Gambian passport is ranked 137th in the world, according to the Visa Guide Passport Index, a system that uses the Destination Significance Score (DSS) to assign unique values to each passport. This ranking translates to visa-free access to just 49 countries for Gambian citizens. However, the vast majority of the world remains out of reach without a visa. Gambian passport holders must navigate a maze of visa applications to access 139 countries, while 16 countries offer the convenience of e-visas and 22 provide visas on arrival. The majority require travelers to secure a visa in advance. This process is further complicated by the fact that many embassies are not located in the Gambia, forcing aspiring travelers to journey to neighboring Senegal to obtain visas. In stark contrast, the Singaporean passport, boasting a DSS score of 91.21, is the strongest in the world, granting its holders near global mobility. It is closely followed by the passports of Spain, Hungary, Italy, France, and Germany. In Africa, the Seychelles passport tops the Henley Passport Index for 2024, allowing visa-free or visa on-arrival access to 156 destinations. Mauritius and South Africa follow with access to 151 and 108 destinations, respectively. Gambia's ranking is not helped by the fact that, despite its size, it contributes a disproportionate number of irregular migrants traveling from West Africa to Europe. Despite the challenges, traveling remains a powerful tool for personal growth. It broadens the mind by exposing travelers to diverse cultures and lifestyles, fosters new relationships, pushes individuals beyond their comfort zones, and helps develop new skills. For Gambians, the journey to explore the world would be fraught with hurdles for the foreseeable future. If it is of any comfort, the Gambia passport ranks above many countries, including Kenya, Tanzania, and Cape Verde, to name a few. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwanyiba.
Now, aspiring journalists at the Old Yundum Upper and the Senior Secondary School Press Club organized a school press club day at the school grounds to discuss their achievements, challenges, and potential career paths in the media. As Lena Igwenyiba reports, the aspiring journalists say they are inspired by some QTV reporters and presenters. Here is the report.
The School Press Day aims to equip students with the knowledge to carry out their functions effectively as aspiring journalists in the school and prepare them for a future career in the profession. Amadou Oba, the guest of honor, spoke to the aspiring journalists about the role of journalists in society.
The most important function for you as journalists is informing the public about events. It could be local news, like QTV and of course Jimara is doing right now. It could be international news. But whether it is local or international news or national developments, the press ensures that people have access to the information. Holding power to account, when we say power, it's not just government alone. Hold your authorities accountable. The third one is giving voice to the voiceless. Another important role of journalists or the press is promoting dialogue and understanding. Finally, the education role. Educating the public, journalism is beyond just reporting. The press has an educational role. It helps to explain complex issues, providing context and analysis that enable the public to understand the implications of various events and policies. If you are serious about becoming a journalist, the ethics, the principles, the code of conduct must be known to your fingertips, and I would not go without sharing those with you.
Abdoulaye Bojang, the guest speaker at the event, advised the students on choosing this as a career path.
Career is something that is demanding. It takes you away from your wife. It takes you away from the loved ones, your husband, your family. And if you don't have interest in it, if you're not having any passion about it, you would go back home. You would go back home. You will leave.
GBC said the founder of School Press Club also advises members to be steadfast in their education as future leaders of the country.
I am optimistic with the spirit that I have seen in you. I hope this you will maintain. Your parents have invested in you their hopes and resources to see you become successful. So don't disappoint them. Most importantly, yourself. With this in mind, success will surely follow.
Alamin Kani, coordinator of the press club, enlightened the students about the importance of the press.
The press holds a unique and indispensable place in our society. It is the vigilant guardian that stands watch over our freedoms and rights, ensuring that the principles of justice, transparency, and accountability are upheld.
Khadijatu Jaita, a member of the School Press Club, is inspired by some of the QTV presenters and reporters.
I like Jenaba Sonko and Ansuman Isonyasi because they are committed and I like the way they report news. I guess they are my role models.
Ramatulai Job is the outgoing president of the School Press Club.
Jenaba Sonko is my role model. I like the way she broadcasts, the way she reports and everything, and especially had a program that is youth dialogue.
Certificates were presented to press club members for their immense contribution towards the development of the club. The guest of honor, Amadou Oba, presented the press club with the Gambia Press Union's Code of Conduct for Journalists booklet. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwanyuba.
And the report there by Lena Igwanyuba will lead us to a commercial break, but we will be right back.
Hello and welcome to U.S. Embassy Banjul's New American Corner. We are located in Fajara next to the Tropic Garden Hotel. Our center offers enhanced services to the public at no cost. It features a computer-equipped lab for educational purposes as well as a venue for hosting academic events, all available for free. The center is also home to the Embassy's podcast studio, providing a platform for our partners to engage in discussions on our shared interest. Visit our New American Corner today and embark on a journey of collaboration. U.S. Embassy Banjul is here for the Gambian people.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. A 3-lane highway means more space for vehicles, smoother traffic flow, and reduced congestion. Each lane has a specific purpose. The leftmost lane for overtaking and faster vehicles, the middle lane for standard driving, and the rightmost lane for slower and turning vehicles.
Welcome back. Following the commercial break, be reminded you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, the governor of URR, Abdullahi Kah, conducted a familiarization tour to get first-hand knowledge of how various institutions operate in the region and to discuss their challenges and opportunities. Our reporter, Alaji A.F. Jallo, was with the delegation and he filed this report.
The newly appointed governor of URR, with members of his staff, have just concluded a 3-day familiarization tour within Basse. Over the course of the 3 days, the team visited the Gambia Fire and Rescue Station, the Department of Agriculture, the Regional Social Welfare Office, Custom, NAWEC, the Forestry Department, 3 Infantry Battalion Basse, the Regional Education Directorate, the Regional Police Command, Basse Area Council, Immigration, GRTS Basse, the Office of the Ombudsman, and the Regional Domestic Tax Office. After the tour, Governor Abdullahi Kah says that in addition to giving first-hand of how these institutions operate, it will also foster collaboration with his office.
The tour basically was to have first-hand information as to some of the institutions that are in operational in URR, and of course lay the foundation for our working relationship between the governor's office and those various institutions.
During the interface, Governor Kah reacted to some of the challenges highlighted by some of the heads of institutions.
It was a good interaction with all the institutions, whether it is civil or the services, that includes the military, the police, immigration. It was a good one. However, they have highlighted certain shortfalls that I think needs to be given immediate attention, where some institution complain about cash power, which plays a key role in the dispensation of their services. Others complain about mobility.
Governor Kah further emphasizes the importance of inter-service relationship for effective service delivery, and also encourage government officials to take great care of government properties for sustainable growth.
I kept talking about the issues of inter-service relationship. Is important because at times you may have more than what you need. There is nothing wrong with agriculture sharing part of their fuel with the armed forces, because at the end of the day, I mean, if people go to their farmlands, it's because there is stability, and that is provided by the armed forces, the security forces. So if you think you have a lot of fuel, there is nothing wrong when they come to you, or don't even wait. You know you have excess. There is nothing wrong in giving armed forces some fuel so that they can give service. Because at the end of the day, we're all providing services to the people of URR. So that is the team spirit that I want to see within the heads of departments that are here.
Among some of the challenges raised by institutions during the tour were lack of mobility, electricity tokens, inadequate supply of medicines, staff welfare and accommodation, among other matters. The message from the institution is that investing in the welfare of employees can lead to a more engaged and committed workforce, contributing to the overall success and growth of the institutions. For QTV News, I am Alaji A.F. Jallo.
The future-proof Banjul Women's Initiative, also known as the Women Empowerment Program under the EU-funded Banjul Osten City Link project, gave awards to women soap makers following months of training on soap making. As we hear in this report, the women also learned how to make furniture from used car tires. This certification event follows extensive training on soap and furniture making through environmentally friendly means, making furniture using used car tires. Usman Job, project coordinator, and Aissatou Cisse, executive director of Women's Initiative Gambia, commended the women for showing resilience and willingness to learn. adding that their commitment to succeed in what is a male-dominated field shows that when empowered, women too can excel and contribute to national development.
I would like to thank you very much, and then we know that you have been working very well, and I will urge you to keep on working so that at least anyone who may need now to get this soap and this tire, if you come to Crab Island at any time, you can get them. So I would like to thank you once again, and then please urge you to keep on working because the sky is the limit.
And make sure that you're committed to what you are selected to. It's not only to come and attend the training, and at the end of the training, you go back home and sit. You are trained to come back and continue what you have been trained, to be able to give opportunities to young people who are at home and they don't know about the training or they were not part of the training. So if you do that, we will be able to achieve our goal.
Abdul Aziz Tabahagay, the Deputy Mayor of Banjul City Council, and Honorable Abdullah Njai, the NAM for Banjul Central, both gave assurances of their continuous support to the women and thanked the project for supporting environmentally friendly women's empowerment programs such as this one.
So we're thinking of ways of how to make sure that the project Crab Island itself sustains itself. Because you cannot have funders coming in all the time to bring in money all the time. At some point, we have to think about sustainability. And I am very glad that I can say that this soap-making and tire transformation led the way, opened the gates for sustainability in Crab Island. So we're very proud of you.
That the project will be elapsing very soon, around November. So we are looking at measures as to how to keep this project sustainable. And I think the showcase that we've seen here really is a testament that can be achieved.
On behalf of the women, Aji Kombe Baji thanked the BCC and the project for giving them what she described as a life-changing skill.
It is really a great pleasure to be one of the many people in Banjul to take part in the soap-making training with my saponification family. We really appreciate you guys. It wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy. But alhamdulillah, we came through it. It was really engaging. We really learned a lot from it.
The women's empowerment component of the CityLink project is said to be one of the most successful components since it began 2 years ago. These women, who reportedly produce at least 500 bars of soap daily, are now expected to train other women in the city, thereby creating employment by promoting the city's environmental sustainability drive. Ansmane Sonyasi for KTV News. And time now for some exciting sports news in a moment. Now, African champion Gambia's Jinabas Bite is through to the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters after winning her heat at the ongoing 2024 Paris Olympics. Yaraba Sonko has the details.
QCell's newly signed brand ambassador Gina Mariam Bass Bite, leading the Gambia in her third Olympics in Paris, has qualified to the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters after clocking 11.01 seconds in the heats. Having competed in Rio in 2016, Tokyo 2020, Paris 2024 is her third appearance. Gina Mariam Bass Bite won gold in 11.36 seconds in the third African Games in Ghana this year, improving from her silver from Rabat in 2019. Gambia's Gina Mariam Bass Bite has been drawn with some of the pre-race favourites, including Jamaica's Shirley Ann Fraser-Price, USA's Sha'Carri Richardson, and Julian Alfred in the semi-finals hit 2 of the women's 11 meters tomorrow. Traditionally, Gina's strongest event has been the 200 meters, and many will be looking forward to the event as the continent's fastest women at the Paris Olympics 2024, going head-to-head with many of the same faces making headlines elsewhere. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Pasonko.
Well, congratulations to Gina Mariam Bass Bite, and we look forward to another stellar performance in the semi-finals tomorrow. Well, I'm afraid that's all about it for this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap for main headlines. Now, following his re-election, Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, the president of Mauritania, was sworn in for another term on Thursday, attended by several world leaders, including President Barrow and the First Lady. The Director of Scientific Affairs at the Food Safety and Quality Authority, Baidudu Jallo, implored the public to protect their health and well-being by avoiding selling or buying food at contaminated places. The latest Visa Guide Passport Index reveals the global standing of Gambian passports, highlighting the challenges and limited visa-free access for its holders. And aspiring journalists at the Old Yundum Upper and Senior Secondary School Press Club organized a school press club day at the school grounds to discuss their achievements, challenges and potential career paths in the media. And in sports news, African champion Gambia's Gina Bass Biteye is through to the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters after winning her heat at the ongoing 2024 Paris Olympics. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us tomorrow, same time. Until then, on behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching.